Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai, and some things stay the same, like the best intro jingle in the game. As you can tell, the hair has been tamed. It's nice and short, so fresh and so clean, because I can actually see now, much lighter. All good. Let's build up to the weekend match against Brighton. I will be live streaming this one for all of you guys to watch along with me. Fantastic watch along, and we're actually going to do the 1-year anniversary of this Liverpool fan in Japan channel celebration. I'll be starting the stream half an hour before kickoff. We will announce the winners of the competition, my best 11 considering modern day tactics, for the stadium version of this shirt. There's another giveaway to come as well, so make sure you join me for the live watch along tomorrow versus Brighton. It's going to be an epic one. We beat them 3-2 obviously at their place, and now the tides have turned. They have to come to Anfield, our fortress, and face off against Arne Slot's men in the Lion's Den. And I think the lineups should be pretty crystal clear, except two potential choices. I'm talking about Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones and Luis Diaz and Gakpo. So let's get into the lineup. But before we do, make sure to hit the like to help this video get seen. And for all you guys who are new to the channel, this is a channel with substance in abundance.
The cream of the crop!
I hope you subscribe after watching this video. So let's get into the tactics board right now and also predict who Brighton will line up with and what they're trying to do. So Matt O'Reilly is actually back for Brighton. I think Minte is back as well. Kadioglu will be hoping to shake off a foot issue. I think their lineup will probably be something along the lines of a Bruggen, a Veltman, a Van Heck, Igor, and a Stupinan. Stupinan obviously bombing up and down the left back position. Probably be Moder and Baleba hanging in the double pivot. At Anfield, they're going to want to keep it tight, but also have the late runners in and beyond their 10s. Kadioglu, I think, will shake off the issue and start alongside Enciso, and Mitoma and Welbeck has been in really good form as well. They are missing a few key players, João Pedro, Milner, that wonder kid. Unfortunately, he'll be back at Anfield just to cheer him from the sides. Solly March, good player for them. Dunk as well, and Webster. Yeah, so I think pretty much it's a dual threat here. Mitoma and Enciso on the diagonals, cutting in to try to support Welbeck, who'll be running the laterals in the channel as well. Any spillage, Welbeck seems to get onto the end of him, and he's in good form, so we've got to watch out for that. But all in all, it's the directness and the pace and the runners in and behind as well. They've got a very athletic midfield. It's going to be quite hard to shake them off because their positional play in terms of the runners are quite tight. So we have to really attack them in those pockets. And speaking of pockets, we found a lot of joy in this particular pocket here. So I think a big part of the strategy is how we facilitate that play again and again, knowing that Veltman will probably be the one that hangs back more, and the Stupinan will be the one that bombs up and down more forward. So we'll be playing in front of their right back. With that in mind, let's see how Liverpool are looking to line up. I think straight away we know certain names in the lineup. Kelleher was rested, as was Van Dijk, as was Gravenberch. Now, Gravenberch even saw the phone of the game. There's a picture going around, shashin, means picture in Japanese. There's a shashin of Gravenberch, even on a date, on his day off, watching the scoreboard. A good lad. Now, this is a first change. Now, Robertson's played 2 games back-to-back, and he played the whole game, so he captained us against Brighton. But Kostas, the Greek scouts, have earned this position on merit because he's been playing phenomenal every time he's been called upon. Defensively, looks solid. He's much better in this half space here because he's very, very comfortable with receiving the ball. He's a all-around a good footballer with quality delivery, and he offers the whipped ball from the half space position. This position here where Robertson struggles to get a decent ball into the box with arc and curve. Robertson needs more of a pullback from here to whip it in first time in that kind of arc. So with Tsimikas there, we offer an additional threat, which means we can overload the back post to try to get the spillage, either direct shot on goal, a layoff for second phase, or switch of play to the striker, albeit Mo Salah will probably cut inside as well, so it could very much be Trent or Szoboszlai on the right side space. Right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold comes in, having been rested. Connor Bradley is now back in the squad. It's great to see. He needs to build up his form and fitness. And next to him is going to be Ibu Konate, who actually came on for Jarell Quansah. Somewhat controversially, according to some people, but look, Arne Slot is designed to win the game. Very, very focused in what he wants to achieve. And speaking of Arne Slot, he did a fantastic interview on Liverpool FC website with Sander Westerveld. Now, Sander Westerveld is also Dutch, and he's a bit jokey as well. Wasn't the best keeper, but as soon as he steps on the pitch, he considers himself the best in the world, Gordon Banks-esque. And he's won 5 trophies, and he said, Arne Slot, you need to catch up soon, my friend. It's 5-0. He won them in Liverpool's colours, but Arne Slot needs to win 5 trophies with Liverpool as well, and I'm sure he will do. If you haven't seen it already, my last video explains why I have the utmost faith that Arne Slot will be a multiple trophy winner with Liverpool. Okay, so we have the back line, we have Kelleher. Maka comes in straight away because he was substituted as well. He needs to find his form, but between the lines, he's a facilitator because of the fact we have Gravenberch in the base to dictate the play and dominate, because Gravenberch is the most athletic and physically imposing midfielder that we have to break the lines, and he will need to be highly attentive because Enciso, Mitoma running this line inside Trent, and Enciso as well, but Enciso can also go on the outside. Now, depending on where Trent plays, right, he is going to start more stationary here. Mitoma holds the ball on the outside of his foot on the off step, so he can accelerate the heel. I think Mitoma can beat Trent actually on the inside, but he's going to come up against Konate here. But let's say, for example, that Trent is in the half space and he's caught in out with Mitoma in and behind in this position here, and Konate steps him up. Even though Konate's acceleration and physicality is amazing, Mitoma is so good at that darting direct run, really straight. He's better at it than Pedro Neto. He's better at it than Vinicius Jr. He is, in world football, the best at that straight line, straight acceleration, penetrating run without skills, without dribbling, just on the outside of his foot, darting in, right? And usually he wins a lot of fouls. Gravenberch has to cover that channel in there if Konate goes out wide, because of the fact Mitoma doesn't actually go out wide so much, and even if he does go out wide, his ball from this kind of area is nullified. It's not the best. So watch out for that darting run, nullify Mitoma out of the game, and this is where Wataru Endo will tell them all about Mitoma's PhD philosophy, because he actually did a whole thesis on the art of dribbling and how to get minute advantages and how to not waste any movement, just go direct and go absolutely gung-ho, bursting into opposition's box, scoring the goals. So, quite interesting. I need to find a copy of Kaoru Mitoma's thesis. It's not even available in Japan. Obviously, it's a thesis, PhD, privacy and all that, right? But very interesting. I'll try to find a copy somewhere and see if I can get it translated for you guys. Okay, so Maka in our Gravenberch here. Curtis Jones. Now, there's a lot of calls for Curtis Jones to start the game because of his ability to hold the ball high up, and that will really facilitate us against Brighton, who are an adventurous team where their 2 pivots actually engage into the 10 and overlap on the outside as well, especially Baleba. What a specimen in terms of an athlete. Great player. He could be destined for higher things. But Szoboszlai, I think, comes in as well. And you go back to your classic Gravenberch, Maka, Szoboszlai, back on track in the Premier League, because that's probably his favoured midfield for now, even though Curtis Jones has come in against Arsenal and other teams and done a fantastic job. Curtis Jones played in midweek, and as did Szoboszlai, to be fair enough, but I think Szoboszlai comes back into his original 10 role, and we go with that kind of lineup. Right wing, Mo Salah was rested, came on as well, always a constant threat. We've got no other striker except from Darwin Núñez, and the biggest choice. Now, I've seen a lot of other lineups. They're going with Gakpo. They're going with Gakpo for the fact that Gakpo scored 2 stupendous goals, one arcing, curved into the side, and one rocket straight and true into the net as well. Luis Diaz came on and dribbled and scored a goal as well. Either one of them could be starting this particular matchup. It's a toss of a coin, right? I think Szoboszlai is more likely than Curtis Jones, even though Curtis Jones could potentially start, because with this, it will allow us a double pivot, with Jones operating between the lines and holding the ball further high up. Szoboszlai's ability to allow Salah to play in this half position is why I think Szoboszlai gets a nod, because of Szoboszlai's penchant for going around the outside here. He is a threat, and Szoboszlai's ability to cover Trent. Trent is back in there as well. Szoboszlai is just such a facilitator for Salah and Trent that when you have Trent and Salah on the pitch, I think Szoboszlai probably is the key to unlocking them in terms of positional play, because Salah wants to play there. Szoboszlai can play right half, he can play right wing, and he can play right wing back as well, covering for Trent. So that's what I think we'll line up with. And can you drop Cody Gakpo after a 2-goal appearance? Absolute menace. I think you've got to build on his confidence. Now, if Gakpo scored 1 and Luis Diaz scored 1, I think Diaz starts. If neither of them scored, I think Diaz starts. But the fact that Gakpo started 2, I think is good man management to start Gakpo in this occasion. And I'm going to go on a limb and say Gakpo starts here, but not with the utmost of confidence, because Luis Diaz has been opening the scoring in a lot of Premier League games, especially towards the start of the season. Now, Arne Slot mentioned One of his secrets, and Marco van Basten had a great quote as well, saying that sometimes he couldn't transmit the ideas in his head to the players on the pitch. But it's somewhat different for Arne Slot, because Arne Slot, look at the talent on the pitch here. Arne Slot's wealth of talent at Liverpool FC allows him to come up with really, really nice tactics and strategies and introversions and transitions as well. But the advantage Arne Slot has, and he mentioned it in the way he trains his team and builds up the team, he watches his training and he watches the video back as well, is his ability to transmit the tactics and plans and strategies to the player in a way that they can understand, in layman's terms, an easy way to understand. He can say, Maka, your job is to play between the lines, up and down, laterally, covering the left half space, because Tsimikas operates in this line here. Now, we usually draw lateral lines, but look at this. This is the arc of influence that Maka will have, right, operating in that sphere. Gravenberch is able to traverse into that line as well, but if Szoboszlai inverts into that position here and into a kind of 10, it gives Gravenberch free reign to do his turning majiggy into Van Dijk, into Gravenberch, takes one step that way, lets the ball roam across his body and turns into space. Opens up all the space here. Here's Trent on the outside for the delivery, and they've always got to watch out for Trent, because in this arc here, he's always going to be hitting it for a clear shot on goal. Down the line into Salah, beating the man into the inside 10 space, beating the man into the central 10 space, wide switch of plate into Gakpo. That sphere of influence for Trent is amazing. Gravenberch has the ability to find him or burst forward as well. If he bursts forward, Salah is making the perpendicular run and Szoboszlai is overlapping or an option on the left-hand side. If Gakpo is in that position, Szoboszlai goes into the right-hand side as well. Nunez will be leading the line, keeping the offside line nice and high, venturing into the channels on occasion as well. And we've noticed in this season particularly, Nunez is going to the right wing a lot more than he ever did under Jurgen Klopp. Under Jurgen Klopp, him and Gakpo were spinning. You spin me right round. You go here and I go here. You go here, never fear. All of them are always comfortable in that left channel. But Nunez has been sacrificing somewhat part of his game to offer the width on the right-hand side to allow the opposition to focus on the overload here, whereas they have to really, really pay attention to the direct running, because he is always an outlet, but mainly it's an overload on the right-hand side, similar to what we did under Jurgen Klopp. This is the system we kind of play, an ability for Arne Slot to translate difficult football terminology into players like Nunez, like Gakpo, like Trent, like Salah, to show them the game-winning conditions that we've got to get into. The more times we can get into those game-winning scenarios and positions, the more likely it is that we're going to convert that match and those opportunities into 3 points in a match, because you get in those positions that we trained, muscle memory kicks in, we trained it all week. You take advantage of Brighton's spaces in and behind between the number 6 and their fullback. That kind of diagonal there and that diagonal there is where you hurt them. And we saw against them in midweek that Gakpo and Luis Diaz did hurt them in that position very, very much so. So that is pretty much 101 in terms of, I think, how we will set up. The only real conundrum is Gakpo or Luis Diaz, but we have the other one on the bench as well. I don't think any players are back in time. Connor Bradley is back in the squad as well. Victor Yaros will go back to the bench. The narrative of the game will basically be we dominate possession. Brighton will sit deep, athletic midfield, press. I don't think they're going to go gung-ho. I think they will press us in our own half, but only as we approach the halfway line, these kind of arcs here. So, the arcs of Omen. I think this is a game that Liverpool must win to keep momentum. We've already turned over Brighton away with a weakened team in the Cup, and now with a full-strength squad, I think we absolutely go for the throat. And I think they have a threat. Enciso will get some half chances. Welbeck will get some half chances, but it'll be a dodgy deflection or scuffed ball that gets him in and behind, and it'll be up to Kelleher to keep it out. My official prediction for this game is 3-1, and I think Nunez bags a goal here, because Liverpool, sooner than later, have to start finding Nunez in the goal-scoring positions to give him an opportunity to fire away. When you have so much techers and ball-playing ability, and we dominate the midfield with this kind of midfield, and we're very oppressive in the press as well, we've got to start sliding the ball into Nunez in the perpendicular and getting his confidence up as a goal scorer, because ultimately he's a phenomenal player with phenomenal attributes who's doing a heck of a job for the team, but he's a goal scorer and a striker, and we've got to get him in there as well. I think Nunez bags a brace. Brave for me to say, a brace in this match. And Salah gets the other one as well. That's my prediction for this game. 3-1. Unfortunately, we may concede a junk ball. A dodgy deflection. We don't really concede clean goals anyway, unless it's a wonder strike from Callum Hudson or Doy. The narrative of the game will be playing in Brighton's third, in and around the halfway line as we try to break them down in athletic midfield. They will get the ball on occasion, but they'll be mainly counter-attacking through the intelligent runs of Karol Mitoma, winning the ball, trying to win the ball high up and unleashing Enciso as well, and Welbeck will be a menace making those runs. But the type of striker that Welbeck is, a physical athlete who's not super skillful, the kind of Solanke mould, the kind of Welbeck mould, the kind of Ivan Toney mould, I think Van Dijk and Konate eat up for breakfast and supper and brunch. So yeah, all in all, I think it will be a nice win against Brighton. We match up quite nicely for them, and then they can enjoy some time on the beach. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the tactics. Would you agree with my starting lineup? Who would you start, Luis Diaz or Gakpo, considering their form, considering the threat, considering what Brighton are looking to do as well? Now, you know me, I love my kit, and today we have partnered again with Soccer Atos, who kindly sent me this beautiful Japan Football Association themed kit. He does great value football soccer kits for every team and every international team as well. Check him out. I've been vouching for him since day one. Very kind, partnered with the channel, and oh my goodness, Kyoto Sunset. That is like Himeji Temple or something like that. Look at the Karasu Crow on the moon, the red scarlet moon, flying trees, abundance as well. That is beautiful and fantastic. So silky smooth, and I approve. Mount Fuji in the background with the snow. There's a beautiful effervescent cream coloring. So much silk. Can you see the textured patterns in this as well? Can you see what I'm seeing? This is a thing of beauty. Thank you so much, my man Soccer Atos, for sponsoring this video. Use my code in the link in the description and first comment below to get 10% off your first order and free shipping. Thank you so much. Let's whip this on. Alrighty, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Liverpool fan in Japan. Miyazaki man, Ichiban. So Gato's Ichiban. Ichiban means the best. Better than all the rest. Fantastic. And with a fresh trim and fresh kit, when Liverpool go 3-0 up, it's time for Brighton to quit. Oh yes. Make sure you smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. The best way to support this channel is through YouTube membership. We're going to do 3 new members videos coming next week as well. And let me know in the comments below which content creators that you want my opinion on. Whether it's Adam McCullough, Boovie, the Anfield Rap, or whoever else. And I'll do my best to give my personal, uncensored, unfiltered opinions on them. And I'm going to do Wataru Endo's vlog and book translations next week too. So until then, have a great evening. I will see you for the live watch along the 1-year anniversary tomorrow. Make sure you schedule it in half an hour before kickoff. Until then, Janet means ciao. Hit my music.
Liverpool fan in Japan.